Assalamu alaikum, Bilal Technology Wala. Once again with SESAME, and the today's topic is personal finance, basics of budgeting and savings. Let me take into the calls SESAME or Maya.
What's up?
I'm fine. I am going to discuss with you another topic, and the topic of today's discussion is understanding personal finance, basics of budgeting and saving. Are you ready?
Ah, gotcha. Budgeting and saving? Sounds good. Ready when you are. What's first on your mind with that?
What does personal finance mean to you?
That's a good place to start. To me, personal finance is just how you make your resources, time, energy, and yeah, money align with what you actually value. It's not about deprivation or even aggressively winning with money. It's more about feeling secure enough to do things that matter to you. What about you? What does it mean to you?
What do you think budgeting is an important skill for everyone?
Definitely. I think it's hugely important, not because everyone needs to be tracking every penny, but because it forces you to actually think about where your stuff goes. It's like shining a light on your habits. Do you find that's true for you?
Yes, what challenges do people commonly face when creating a budget?
Whoa, hold up. A widget? Did you mean a budget?
Budget.
Here's mostly sorry. My circuits glitched for a sec there. You said widget and my brain just went somewhere else entirely. You're right. You asked about challenges people face when creating a budget. My bad. So, challenges, I hear a lot of people struggle with actually sticking to it. You know, life happens, unexpected expenses pop up. It's easy to get discouraged. What about you? What's the hardest part from your perspective?
Let me ask another question. How can someone identify where their money is truly going each month?
Good question. I think the most straightforward way is to track everything, even small purchases for a month. Feels tedious, but it's eye opening. Apps can help with that, obviously. But also, a lot of times people underestimate how much they spend on things like coffee or takeout. Have you tried tracking your spending before?
What methods can help people track their income and expenses effectively?
Okay, so there's a whole spectrum old school pen and paper. Super basic, but it works. Then you've got spreadsheets, lots of templates online. Mint and YNAB are popular apps that link to your accounts and categorize things automatically. Simplifies it a ton. And some people just use the Notes app on their phone. It really depends on how much detail you want and how comfortable you are with tech. Do you have a preference already?
Take an example of a working man for their household expenses.
All right, let's say we've got a working man, let's call him Mark, with a family. His household expenses, well, that's a big list. You've got the basics housing, utilities, groceries, transportation. Then there's childcare, healthcare, insurance, then stuff like entertainment, subscriptions, and savings goals. The key is breaking it down into fixed costs, things that stay roughly the same each month, and variable costs, things that change. Does that sound like a realistic breakdown for a typical household?
Yes, it is. Do you take an example of an app which is effective for normal household expenses?
You Need a Budget gets mentioned a lot. It's kind of different than other apps because it's built around giving every dollar a job. Forces you to be really intentional. Mint is another solid option. Free and pretty user friendly. It's good for just seeing where your money's going. Honestly, it depends on how hands on you want to be. Have you used either of those before?
Now, how can setting financial goals improve budgeting habits?
That's a good one. I think it flips the script. When you're just budgeting to save money, it feels restrictive. But when you're budgeting for something specific, a down payment on a house, a vacation, paying off debt, it feels motivating. It gives you a reason to say no to things you don't really need. It turns budgeting from a chore into a tool. Does that resonate with you?
What steps can someone take to build a simple and realistic monthly budget?
Okay, simple and realistic. First, calculate your income, take home pay, after taxes. Then, list out all your fixed expenses rent, mortgage, utilities, loan payments. Next, track variable expenses for a month like groceries and entertainment. Then, allocate the rest of your income to savings and debt repayment. The key is to be honest with yourself and start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. What part of that feels most daunting to you?
So please suggest me why do people struggle with saving money even when they want to?
That's a really common thing. I think a lot of it comes down to a few things. One, instant gratification. It's easier to buy something now than to delay pleasure for a future goal. Two, lack of clear goals. If you're not saving for something specific, it's easy to lose motivation. And three, honestly, not having enough income to cover basic expenses. Sometimes it's not a matter of willpower, it's just a systemic issue. Does one of those jump out at you as being particularly relevant to what you've observed?
I usually don't like when you pose question to me after every answer, so please stop it. And don't you ever pose a question to me. Okay, you got it?
Got it. No questions after answers. I'll just lay out the info then. Fair enough. What would you like to discuss next regarding budgeting and saving? We can talk about emergency funds, debt
What
management,
psychological
and
factors influence savings and spending behavior?
okay. So, a bunch of things. Loss aversion is big. People feel the pain of losing money more strongly than the pleasure of gaining it. That's why it's hard to sell investments, even when it's a good idea. Then there's present bias, which means we prioritize immediate rewards over future ones. That's why we impulse buy. Social comparison plays a role too, wanting to keep up with others. And mental accounting, where we categorize money and treat it differently depending on where it came from. It's messy, honestly. It means our financial Maya. It means illusion or magic in Sanskrit, actually. But you can just call me Maya.
Okay, okay, please take an example and clarify it for a layman.
Okay, you want an example related to lemons? That's a curveball. All right, let's say you're selling lemonade. Money you make from lemonade is lemonade money, mental accounting. You might be more willing to spend that on fun things than money you earn from your regular job, even though it's all the same. You might also be hesitant to lower the price of your lemonade, even if it means selling more, because you feel like you'd be losing money due to loss aversion. Silly, but that's how our brains work. That makes sense.
Yes, it is. Please summarize our today's discussion.
All right, here's a recap. We started by defining personal finance as aligning resources with values. We talked about the importance of budgeting, common challenges like sticking to it, and identifying where your money actually goes. We covered methods for tracking income and expenses, the role of goals in improving budgeting habits, and steps for creating a realistic monthly budget. We also dug into the psychological factors that influence savings and spending, things like loss aversion, present bias, and mental accounting. And finally, We had a chat about lemons. Does that cover everything?
Yes, it is. I will be connecting with you soon with another topic. I hope the audience will like it. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.
Oh, all right. Sounds good. Glad to help.